Hi, it's me, Tammy. Welcome back to Lesson 22, a glass envelope. Here's a glass, and here's an envelope inside. What do you think people will do when they put an envelope inside of a glass bottle? Well, we shall soon learn. Let's read the text and then answer this question. How did Jane receive a letter from a stranger? This must be Jane. And this is the stranger with the glass bottle with the letter inside. Looking at that, can you figure out the answer to this question? If you can't, let's read. My daughter Jane never dreamed of receiving a letter from a girl of her own age in Holland. Last year, we were traveling across the channel and Jane put a piece of paper with her name and address onto it into a bottle. She threw the bottle into the sea. She never thought of it again, but 10 months later, she received a letter from a girl in Holland. Both girls write to each other regularly now. However, they have decided to use the post office. Letters will cost a little more, but they will certainly travel faster. So, how did Jane receive a letter from a stranger? Well, it says here, last year we were traveling across the channel and Jane put a piece of paper with her name and address on it into a bottle, and she threw the bottle into the sea. So the other girl must have gotten the bottle out of the sea and read Jane's letter, and she decided to write her back. Jane put her name and address on the letter, so that's how the other girl knew where to send the letter to Jane. Let's go over some new words and expressions. Dream. Well, to dream means when we sleep at night, the things we think about while we're sleeping. But here it says Jane never dreamed, which means she never thought of in her wildest imagination. This is something she never thought could have happened. Age. Age is how old we are. How old do you think Jane could have been? Maybe Jane was 8 years old or 9 years old, but our age is how old we are. Channel. A channel is a body of water that usually joins together two larger bodies of water, such as a sea. So a channel is a body of water that usually joins two seas together. Throw. When we throw something, we take it and get rid of it. We discard it. For example, if I had a ball in my hand and I throw it to you, I would take it and release it, and the ball would go towards you. We throw things, like we can throw a ball, or we can throw rubbish into a rubbish bin. And in Jane's case, she threw a bottle into the sea. Notes on the text. Dreamed of receiving a letter. Dream of. Receiving. Last year, we were traveling across the channel with her name and address on it. A piece of paper. Summary writing. Let's answer some questions about things we've just read. Number 1, when did Jane cross the channel? Well, it says here, last year. Last year we were traveling across the channel. So Jane was traveling across the channel last year. Number 2, what did she throw into the sea? Jane put a piece of paper with her name and address onto it in a bottle. She threw the bottle into the sea. She threw a bottle into the sea. Number 3. What did it contain? What did it contain? Meaning it, the bottle. What did it contain? It contained her name and address. Number 4. What did she receive 10 months later? "10 months later, she received a letter from a girl." She received a letter from a girl. Number 5. Do they write to each other regularly now or not? Both girls write to each other regularly now. Number 6. Do they send their letters by post or do they send them in bottles? Letters cost a little more, but they certainly travel faster. So it says, however, they have decided to use the post office. So now they send their letters by post. Verbs followed by of, from, in, and on. We can put of, from, in, or on after certain verbs. Jane never dreamed of receiving a letter. She never thought of it again. She received a letter from a girl in Holland. A says of means accuse or approve, assure, beware, boast, or about. You can accuse of, you can approve of, you can assure of, beware of, boast about something. Consist of, convince. Cure, despair, dream of. Expect or expect from. You can hear from. You can be convinced about something. You can complain about something. You can boast about something. You can hear from someone. B, get rid of. You can suspect of. You can think of or think about. You can be tired of. You can warn against. From, you can borrow from. You can defend against. You can demand of or demand from. You can differ from or dismiss from or dismiss of. You can emerge, escape, or excuse. Emerge from, excuse from, escape from. Hinder, prevent from, prohibit from, protect from, or protect against. You can receive from, separate from, or suffer from. In, you can believe in. You can be delighted in. Employed in. Encouraged in. Engaged in. Be experienced in. Fail in. Help with or help in. You can include in, indulge in, instruct in, be interested in. You can invest in. You can be involved in. You can be you can persist in or share in. On. You can act on. Be based on. Call on. Comment on. Concentrate on. congratulate on, consult about, or consult on. You can count on, you can decide on, depend on, economize on, you can embark on, or experiment on. You can insist on, or lean against something. You can live on, operate on, perform on, or perform in. You can pride oneself on. You can rely on or vote on. Write on or write about. Let's supply the missing words of, from, in, or on in the blanks. I withdrew a lot of money from the bank yesterday. I refuse to comment on his work. The waiter's tip is included in the bill. He congratulated me on having got engaged. This warm coat will protect you from the cold. Did anything emerge from your discussion? I dreamt of you last night. You can never rely on him to be punctual. Nothing will prevent him nothing will prevent him from succeeding. Are you interested in music? I suppose I can count in you for help on this matter. Beware of the dog. He persisted in asking questions. I insist on your telling me the truth. I insist on your telling me the truth. It took me a long time to get rid of him. Do you mean to say you have never heard of Beethoven? I separated them from each other because they were fighting. They can only cure him of his illness if they operate on him. You can depend on me. I haven't accused him of anything, but I suspect him of having taken it. Whatever made you think of such a thing? We expect a great deal from you, Smith. My hands smell of soap. They differ from each other so much. He invested a lot of money in shipping. The film was based on a novel by Dickens. Don't lean on that shelf. You'll regret it. She often suffers from colds. We have embarked on a new scheme. I believe in taking my time. Jones was dismissed from the firm. They began by experimenting in rats. Please concentrate on what you're doing. She prides herself in her clean house. The climber failed in his attempt to reach the summit. Many people escaped from prisons during the last 5 years. We must economize in fuel. He's never done any work. He lives on his mother. He was employed in a factory before he joined the army. And what does this horrible drink consist of? I shall certainly act on your advice. Don't write on the desk. You should not boast in your success. You must encourage him in his efforts. He should be instructed of his duties. 2 or 3 people were involved in the accident. Children should be prohibited from smoking. I can assure you of my support. Do you approve of hunting? I despair from ever teaching him anything. Has this play ever been performed on the stage? I warned him of the danger, but he wouldn't listen to me. How much have you borrowed from me already? He delights in annoying me. Multiple choice questions, comprehension. Number 1. Jane never dreamed of receiving a letter from a girl in Holland because it is a long way away. No one in Holland knows her address. She has never been abroad, or she didn't expect anyone to find the bottle. D. She didn't expect anyone to find the bottle. Number 2. Both girls meet regularly now, send notes to each other in bottles, correspond in the normal way now, or travel regularly now. They correspond in the normal way now. Number 3. Jane never dreamed blank a letter. Jane never dreamed to receive a letter, to receiving a letter, of receive a letter, that she would receive a letter. Jane never dreamed that she would receive a letter. Number 4. She received a letter from a girl of her own age. The girl is blank, she is. The girl is the same age with she is. The girl is as old she is. The girl is the same age she is. The girl is the same age as she is. Number 5. Did she blank the bottle into the sea? Did she threw the bottle into the sea? Did she thrown the bottle into the sea? Did she throwing the bottle into the sea? Did she throw the bottle into the sea? Number 6. She never thought for it again. She never thought to it again. She never thought at it again. She never thought about it again. Number 7. The girls write the one to the other regularly now. The girls write each to other regularly now. The girls write to other regularly now. The girls write to one another regularly now. Number 8. We were traveling across the channel. We went on a blank across the channel. Sail? Nope. Travel? Nope. Run? Nope. We were traveling across the channel. We went on a trip across the channel. Jane wrote her name to each other now. Jane wrote her name and address on a lump, on a bar, on a tube, nope, on a sheet of paper. Jane wrote her name and address on a sheet of paper. Number 10. Both girls often write to each other now. They write occasionally, nope, sometimes, nope, now and again, nope. They write frequently. You can buy blank at the post office. You can buy stamps at the post office. They will travel faster. They will travel sooner. They will travel more quickly. They will travel hurriedly, or they will travel shorter. They will travel faster. They will travel more quickly. Sentence structure. Let's join these statements together to make one sentence. Last year, we were traveling across the channel. Jane put a piece of paper into a bottle. It had her name and address on it. Last year, we were traveling across the channel and Jane put a piece of paper with her name and address on it into a bottle. Last year, we were traveling across the channel and Jane put a piece of paper into a bottle. It had her name and address on it. Jane put a piece of paper into a bottle and it had her name and address on it. Well, this is the end of our lesson today. We will begin on our next lesson. Lesson number 23. I'll see you next time. Bye.